All right, we are on page 215. So far, we have added and subtracted, multiplied decimals, and we are going to finish this chapter with division. Before we go into division, we just need to recall from 5th grade how to divide long division. So again, you've probably seen me doing this with the 5th graders, but the first thing we need to do is label with the correct vocabulary terms. So we have quotient, dividend, and divisor. Dividend is always inside the house. This is a D. So dividend. Our divisor, and I say that the divisor is always knocking at the door. You'll hear me say that a lot. And then up above, we have our quotient. Quotient is the answer to a division problem. Okay. So it says, when you are at rest, it takes 60 seconds for a single blood cell to travel around your body and back to your heart. In 120 seconds, about how many times does a single blood cell travel around your body and back to your heart? Write the dividend, divisor, and quotient in the diagram below. So we are going to take that 120 seconds, and we're going to divide that. And it takes 60 seconds for it to go once around your body. So 120 divided by 60, our answer is going to be 2. So the answer then it would take, or it would be 2 times that a single blood cell travels around your body and back to your heart in 120 seconds. Camilla's target heart rate should be about 200 beats per minute. Estimate the number of times Camilla's heart will beat in 1 minute, in 1 second if her heart is working at this rate. So we have 1 minute. We need to figure out how many seconds are in a minute to figure this out. So we are going to do 200 divided by 60 seconds to figure out how many seconds. I know that 60 cannot go into 2, 60 cannot go into 20, and 60 can go into 200. So what I'm going to think is 6 times what gets me closest to 20? Well, I know 6 times 3 is 180, and 6 times 4 is 24. So that 6 times 4 is too much. So 6 times 3 is going to be the closest I can get without going over 200. We multiply. 3 times 60 is 180. We subtract and we get 20. So her heart is going to beat about 3 times per second. Okay, next page. Page 216. We have 351 divided by 9. The first thing that I always like to do is just estimate so that I know that I'm on the right track. 351 is really close to 360. 36 and 9 are compatible numbers, which means I can find them on the multiplication chart. 9 times 4 is 36. So that's a fact family, which means 360 divided by 9 is 40. So we should get an answer that goes to the tens place or is around 40. And you can see here that we have 351 divided by 9. 9 can go into 35 3 times. 3 times 9 is 27. We'll subtract 35 minus 27 to get 8. They brought down the 1 to make it 81, and 9 can go into 81 9 times. So we have 39. 39 is really close to 40, so we did that correctly. Then we're going to do 878 divided by 31. Again, this is really close to 900, and this is really close to 30. 9 and 3 are compatible numbers, so my estimation should be close to 900 divided by 30, which equals 30. So my answer should be close to 30. And again, you can see here they did the division. 31 can't go into 8. 31 can go into 87 twice. Now you might off to the side need to do the multiplication. So 31 times 2, and I get 62. Now we're going to subtract 87 minus 62 to get 25. We'll bring down the 8 to make it 258. Now this is where it can get kind of tricky. So again, I'm going to round this to something that I know 3 can go into. 3 times 8 is 24. This 25 is really close to 24, so that's why they put 8 up here. And then they did it 8 times 31, and we got 248. Subtract and we get 10. I don't have anything else left to bring down, so my answer is 28, remainder 10. Now, if you forgot the steps to division, because we haven't really talked about that, remember we're going to divide, multiply, subtract, bring it down, and bring it back around. So that's the step, or those are the steps to division. Divide, multiply, and subtract, bring it down and bring it back around. Divide, multiply, and subtract, bring it down and bring it back around. So if I do A, 768 divided by 8, 8 cannot go into 7, but I know 8 can go into 72 9 times. 9 times 8 is 72. Again, a multiplication chart could help you. So if you need that, you can take it out and use it. 6 minus 2 is 4. So we just subtract. Now we'll bring down the 8 and bring it back around. Divide. 8 can go into 48 6 times. 6 times 8 is 48. I'll subtract and I get 0. So my quotient for A is 96. Pause the video and try B. So you're going to try B. Again, pause the video. Unpause it when you're done to see if you're correct. I will do this as well. So hopefully by now you've unpaused it and you've seen that I've gotten 19, remainder 14. If your remainder is greater than your divisor, you did something wrong. So just make sure that you have that. I picked 9 because I know that 16 times 10 is 160. I was trying to get as close to 158 without going over. 160 is pretty close, but it's over 158, so that's why I went down to 9. Okay, so now we have 4 digits. It's basically just the same process, but there might be a little more steps to it. So again, they always want you to estimate just to make sure that you're close. 600 or 6,493 divided by 75. I know that 64 and 80 are compatible numbers, or 64 and 8, I should say. 64 divided by 8 is 8, and then we add on that 0 to make it 80. So my answer should be close to 80. Again, it's pretty similar to what we were doing, but just a couple more steps. 75 cannot go into 64, so we're going to try 75 into 649. Again, we picked 8 because this is close to 80 and this is close to 640. So 8 can go into 64 8 times, so that's why they picked 8. And then again, you're always going to probably have to multiply off on the side. So 8 times 75. 75 times 8, and you get 600. Then we subtract and we get 49. We'll bring it down to get 493 and bring it back around. This is really close to 48, and this is close to 8 as well. And I know 8 times 6 is 48, so that's why they put 6 up there. 6 times 75 is 450. Subtract and we get 43, which is our remainder. Now that seems like a big remainder, but it's still less than 75, so that works. Okay, and then we have a word problem here. Pretty much the same thing. I'm going to skip it though, so you're just going to put this as your dividend. And then we have a year, so it's asking days in a year. There's 365 days in a year, so that's going to be your divisor. I want you to try C and D, and then you can check my work to make sure you're right, but pause the video right now. You can see that I picked 8 because I know 5 can go into 40. This might be too much, so I'm just trying this out right now. And it is too much, so I need to bring this down to 7. And then off on the side, I'll do 56 times 7. It's 42. So 392. I got 40, bring down the 1, bring it back around. It's going to be 7 again because I got 392 last time, and that's as close as I can get. And so my answer for C is 77, remainder 9. And then we have this one. I'll do my work over here. 8465 divided by 91. 9 times 9 is 81, so I'm going to try 91 times 9 off on this side. That's as close as I can get. So 819. I'll subtract to get 27. I'll bring down this 5. 9 can go into 27 3 times, so I'm going to try 9 times 27. I'm sorry, 9 times 3. And that's going to work. So we'll put a 3 up here. 3 times 91 is 273. When I subtract, I get 2. There's nothing else to bring down, so my answer is 93, remainder 2. Okay, next page. This is, again, is just a word problem. So we have our big dividend here. Usually that's a total. So whenever I see the total, that's going to indicate a dividend. And whenever I'm splitting something up into an equal part, that is going to be my divisor. So 44 sections are being split. So I'm going to do that. And you can just see there that that's just an example of a word problem. If I go down to the guided practice here, let's tackle number 1. 8 can go into 72 9 times. That's on my multiplication chart. 9 times 8 is 72. When I subtract, I get 1. I'll bring down this 6, and 8 can go into 16 twice. 2 times 8 is 16. When I subtract, I get 0, so my answer is 92. Number 2, 11 can go into 62 5 times. 5 times 11 is 55. When I subtract, I get 7, and I'll bring down this 0. 11 can go into 70 6 times. 6 times 11 is 66. When I subtract, I get 4. There's nothing left to bring down, so I have 56, remainder 4. I would like you to do 3 and 4 yourself. You can raise your hand, and I'll check it when you're done. I'm going to skip down to 5 just so we have at least one word problem that I've done with you. So Zach bought 2 new jet skis for $15,480. He will make 36 equal payments, which is 3 years. How much will each payment be? So every month, how much is Zach paying towards his new jet skis? So our dividend is our total. And we have 36 equal. So whenever I see equal or split up into equal groups, that is going to be my divisor. 36 into 154. This is close to 160, and this is close to 40. So I'm going to start with a 4 because 4 can go into 16. Again, this is close to 16, and this is close to 40. It may work, it may not, but I'm going to start there. So 36 times 4, 24. This is 12 plus 2 is 144. So that's as close as I can get. When I subtract, I get 10. I'll bring down this 8. 36 into 108. Let's see, again, let's keep this at close to 40. It's going to round up to 40. 40 can go into 80. It could also go into 120. I'm going to try it 3 times because 4 is too much. So I'll put a 3 up here and I'll try it. 36 times 3. This is 18. And that is 9 plus 1 is 10. So that worked. 3 times 36 is 108. And to subtract, I get 0. So his equal payments every month, he's paying $108 towards his 2 new jet skis. And he'll be making that payment every month for 3 years. Okay, so when you are done with this, you're going to go on to the independent practice. I would like you to do let's just say the odds, but you do need to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You need to do 3 hot problems. So 3 hot problems. And the odds. So yes, you do need to do 13 and the front side odds.